Hi, thank you, my friends, for choosing the Roosta Show. This is Rooster Jones, your host. Today we have Twice Dark. I mean, that's what they're saying. So we're going to find out what they're all about and talk about all their music and pick his little brain. His name is Josh, and I'm stoked to be having him here. And he's very excited as well. So, don't know why. I'm not nobody. I'm just a simple man.
Hi,
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
Right on, Josh. Well, welcome to the Rooster Show. Great to
Thank you.
have you here.
Yeah,
Checking
I like
out
that
your
logo.
Orphans of the Stone. Oh yeah, yeah. I had a couple pictures to choose from that I was working on, and this one I won the battle. So,
Cool.
yeah, I'm listening to Orphans of the Storm. That's a really darn good album. Really good
Yeah,
EP.
a little different than what Telekinetic is shaping up to be. Telekinetic's a little bit more synth pop, and Orphan of the Storm is a lot more industrial.
Techno-ish.
Yeah,
Techno
yeah, yeah,
industrial,
yeah.
yeah, it's more techno industrial, yeah, definitely. Like, yeah, definitely, I love that stuff. So, are you trying to go towards a more of an industrial sound altogether, or are you most more post punkish or
Um,
dark wave-ish?
it's changed over the years. Twice Dark started in 2020, and it was I wanted to start. I wanted a goth band. I wanted to create a goth
Gotcha,
rock, dark wave, and I was solo. So it started off goth, and over the last 4 years, I've slowly gotten more into uh, new beat and synth pop, like that
yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah,
And Telekinetic is very, very synth pop. There's industrial elements to it, and EDM, and but I really am honing in on this sort of like dark synth pop sound.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I grew up loving the early goth. Yeah, it's one of my true loves still.
Right
And
on.
Cure, man. I mean, it was
Yeah.
my number one band of all time, but I
Right.
just grew to love a punk too.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
they all became a part of my life, and it's amazing about music how wonderful it is that it triggers certain aspects of your body, and your intellect, and so each genre kind of like takes you down another path of
Right.
your
Right.
life. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
tell me, how did Twice Dark get started? I mean, you said it
Um,
was more of a goth, and how long has it been around? How did you get the name?
oh yeah. So in 2020, well, 2019, really,
Okay,
um, I started Twice Dark, and I've been in bands since I was 14,
gotcha.
mid 90s. I played guitar, started off playing guitar in punk bands, and over time, by the time I got to college in the late 90s, early 2000s, I was really into like Smiths and post punk and techno, and
Yeah,
that that evolved into like industrial and goth and stuff like that. And so I was only ever in like indie rock and punk bands, but I loved this goth rock music, and I my friends that were around me weren't really into that stuff. The people I played
yeah.
music with weren't really into that stuff. So
It's an acquired
eventually
taste.
I did it on my own. Well, yeah, right. I did it on
Especially
my own.
Morrissey. You know what I mean? It's like a
Hmm.
very acquired taste.
Yeah, it
Robert
is. Yeah,
Smith is a very acquired taste.
sure.
As so I get what you're
Yeah,
getting at.
yeah. So um, yeah, eventually I wanted to do it on my own, and I tried to start bands over the years. Throughout the 2000s, I had bands here and there that I created. Didn't last very long, but ultimately in 2019, I wanted to really do something and make an album, and go to the studio, make something good. So I came out with my self-titled Twice Dark album in 2020. I recorded that at Postal Recording in Indianapolis, and I really wanted to make a goth album. And I think that's what I made was, something
Yeah,
very goth, very dark wave. And, so that's how that all started. It just is something that I wanted to do. And I didn't know anybody else who really was into that music. I had some friends, but not musician friends.
Yeah,
And
I get you.
yeah, so I did it on my own, and it took me a while to figure that out. So between recording the album and playing my first show in 2021, I had to figure out how to make to do that performance live. So that was
Yeah.
quite an ordeal too. But I figured it all out, and I think I'm glad I chose to do it solo because it wasn't what I was going to do at first. When I
It's not an
first,
easy task being a solo
no,
artist.
no, no,
You got to do all these layers, and
yeah,
layer your music upon each other, to be able to play it
yeah.
live. I'm a solo artist myself, and
Oh, really?
so I do understand. I'll send you a track there, right?
Okay,
I'm
cool.
into
Yeah.
goth rock too. I have a goth project called Rising Underground that I love. So,
Oh, cool. I'm gonna write that
so
down.
I relate with what you're saying a lot. I mean, it's amazing how the transition of music that you go through, but it's still all that underground music that we fell in love with. No matter which
Yeah.
way you look at that punk, that just for real. Guess who I mean? I talked to Sheep on Drugs. You
Oh,
know that
really?
band?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I listen to
I
them.
did.
I
Yeah,
yeah, great
I
stuff.
got a chance to talk with Lee. Yeah, it was wonderful.
That's
So yeah,
awesome.
he's still doing music.
Good.
So I
That's good
understand
to
about
hear.
the techno too as well. Because
Yeah.
there was that trance that came out, boy, that there was that era, man. It was just
Uh-huh.
it was dominating. It was really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So I understand. So your dynamics have changed, I guess, throughout the years. Then is
Yeah.
you're still kind of trying to find yourself in your music,
Uh,
or do you think that you kind of hit it with this, like even with this album? This EP was amazing, I thought. I mean, I still
the
listen to it. It's
Orphans of the
wonderful.
Storm.
Plague's on, yeah, Plague's on right
Yeah.
now.
Each album is its own thing, and I
Yeah.
go through changes like everybody does. And I like the whole gamut of dark alternative music, and I have for most of my life. But each album, I get into a thing where I'm just like, I really want to do this. I want it to be industrial, or I want it to be synth pop, or I want it to be goth, and like really truly goth or whatever. So each album is a little bit different. I think I would say that Twice Dark is an experiment to see if I could pull it off, and I think that I have. And just to do whatever I want to do, in the dark
Okay.
alternative scene, So I
Yeah, I
think
got
I
you.
think I've really found myself. I think that each album's going to sound different. I mean, it's going to sound Twice Dark, but each album's going to sound a little bit different. It's going to have
Yeah,
different, slightly different influences. But I
gotcha.
think I think I've uh, found myself for the most part, branding wise, I guess.
Has it
Yeah.
been challenging
Yeah.
trying, trying to
Yeah,
get your work?
totally.
Out?
Yeah. I mean, it's expensive to do it on your own, to go in the studio, to release music, to like, for instance, I took a PR course recently because I didn't know the business aspect of it. Most
Uh,
musicians and artists, we don't like that stuff. We don't want to post,
no.
deal with the promotion at all. We would just want to make music and play shows and that's it. But I'm by myself, so I need to learn that stuff. And I did. And it was expensive. And I'm glad I did it though. I learned a lot. And I feel like, I'm much more empowered to release things and have, build an audience now, like really truly build an audience now.
Yeah. So you said it's pretty hard to find people that share your vision.
Yeah,
Where
yeah,
you're
that's
at.
true.
Yeah, it's hard here actually too. Unless
Yeah.
you're a blonde hair country girl with an acoustic guitar,
Yeah,
which you
right.
can't compete with anyways. So I mean, it's like, yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
much what it's more country type bands here and all that. So for gospel,
totally.
yeah, I did a little thing here, and they're like, "Well, your music's just so dark." It's like, okay, but I'm just still doing it. I was
Yeah.
doing, yeah, do the bass line, you do that synth, drums and all that, and then play
Yeah.
guitar and vocals to it live, and so it's fun. It's a good experience because I remember people coming up and saying stuff like, "How do you do that? How do you know about the timing and and all that when you're playing live?"
Right.
Because to them
Right.
it's just all of a sudden there's the drums and it kicks off, and but you yourself, it,
Sure.
your
Yeah.
timing, and all that. But
Yeah.
it's almost like a magic show to other people, when they're watching. How
Yeah.
did that happen? When did
Yeah.
this? It's so cool. And it's a good feeling when you play by yourself at the same time. it is frustrating because you wish you had that live drum, or something.
Yeah.
Especially in a good industrial band, you
Yeah.
would definitely need someone up there on some pads, or
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
like
Totally.
that.
Yeah.
You always need to throw that live aspect of live guitar and live drums, to have that really good attitude in industrial music,
Totally.
So.
Yeah. Agreed.
What's
Agreed.
one of the biggest lessons you've learned so far?
Don't wait until you have the perfect setup or the perfect rig or all the perfect, synthesizers to make music. Do
Yeah,
make it with whatever you've got in the moment, because if you wait till you got the perfect setup, you'll never make anything. So just do what you do with, make what you have with what you've got.
gotcha, definitely. So, are you? I don't mean to get all personal. Are you a family man?
I mean, I am married. I have a wife. We have a baby, little baby lizard. We've had fur babies in the past. So,
Oh, that's
yeah, to some
awesome.
extent, I am.
Got a
Yeah,
lizard. What's his?
yeah.
What's your lizard's name?
His name's Reggie. He's a leopard gecko. He's
Oh,
about
that's awesome.
4 years old now. Yeah,
That's brilliant. We love animals. We're
yeah,
just
me too.
yeah, just animals are so much better than humans.
Agreed.
They-
Yeah,
by
100%.
far. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. Well,
yeah.
bless your family. I mean, is it tough having a family and then trying to do all this music on the side?
My significant other is also a DJ. Her name's DJ Maz, and she
Ah,
DJs with me at events. So it can
that's
be,
cool.
even though she's into the music and she goes to the events with me, it
But
still
that's cool
can
though.
be.
That's
Yeah,
that's good to have that though.
yeah,
He's a DJ too. I mean, that's brilliant. Okay, that works out. I can see
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. It makes it a lot easier that we kind of can. We've got our own thing. We do our own stuff, but then we come together on music and we have a good time. So
Uh, that's
I
awesome.
think it works out. Yeah.
So, have you collaborated with anybody else? In your,
Yeah, yeah.
you have
So for the Telekinetic album, I had some remixes done, but also
okay.
for each song, on 5 out of the 7 songs, I had a guest vocalist on
Ah,
those songs. So just, musician friends of mine from the Midwest and as far as New York and some in Europe, people I know from online. They did uh, guest vocals or remixes. And I'm looking to do more collaborations, like really collaborate to create music. I've done that a little bit with a horror house out in New York. We've started making tracks together. We're working on a track together. So just we're working on it so that we're creating something from scratch together. So that's
yeah.
like a true collaboration.
I got
Yeah.
a great industrial guitar drummer
Oh,
that
really?
yeah always looks yeah he worked with Chem Lab and
Cool.
Frontline Assembly and stuff like that.
Nice.
So his name's Jason Bassett. He's a really wonderful guy and great drummer.
That's
So he's
awesome.
probably someone to look up eventually.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wrote it down. That's
yeah,
great.
yeah. He has a band called SMP Sounds of Mass Production
Oh, cool.
on the side. So SMP, yeah, he's very talented.
Awesome.
So is there a track of yours that is like a signature track? Like,
Yeah, I think people resonate with liminal spaces. Like that's probably my most the track that people like the most. That or Broken Fingers. People really
which is the
resonate.
first track of that other.
Oh yeah, right, of
See,
the
I've been doing my
self-titled. Those are both
studying.
on the self-titled album. Yeah.
I've been
Yeah, people
studying.
like those.
I've
Yeah.
been
So
studying
yeah,
and
I
stuff.
mean that first album has really resonated with people and people really like those songs. And I still play some of those songs live, but I do
Yeah,
like to play my new stuff. So
gotcha.
um yeah, but yeah, those are the ones that people really dig and really kind of gravitate towards.
Okay, what would you like to say to your fans?
I've got singles coming out, and you should check them out. I got Invisible Man's going to be coming out on the 22nd of November, and followed by more remixes and singles, remixes, and an album coming out by the spring. So keep an eye on my social media. I've got music coming out. So just
Now, you a vocalist as well?
The
Are
out
you
of
the one that
necessity. Yeah.
you're the one
Yeah.
that sings mostly on like on Orphan's album and the
That's
other?
me. That's all me.
That's
Yeah.
you. Okay, okay. Great vocals. Good job on that.
Thanks. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It took a while to figure that out, and to get the confidence. That was another whole thing that
Oh,
um, I didn't
yeah.
have anybody else. So I had to figure it out on my own. I've sang in bands before, but not like this. I was thinking when I first started, I was thinking Andrew Eldritch, like I wanted, or Drab Majesty or whatever, like
Yeah,
something
of
I wanted to be
course.
like a
Yeah.
real resonating baritone sort of goth vocal.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I've stuck with for the most. It's changed a little bit depending on the releases, but that's kind of what I've stuck with in my head anyway. I don't know if that
Okay.
helps.
Do you find it hard, like as a singer, like say like you got an idea, like sometimes as like when I write music, like I'll be
Yeah.
like, really love this ministry song, and so it's like you kind of do drums that are kind of similar to it, or like have you ever find yourself kind of going down a path like, all right, man, this is getting too familiar with this particular band or with this track? Have you found yourself doing that?
Yeah, man. I mean, I lean into my influences. Like
Yeah,
for the album I'm working on right now, I'm writing songs. Telekinetic is done. I'm just releasing it, and I'm working on new
gotcha,
material. And it's there's a band called Setu Javu. I believe they're German. They do a lot of stuff in Spanish, but they have a song called uh, I can't remember. It eludes me right now, but I really like their music, and one of their songs I'm basically um, trying to emulate, but it's not the same. It's my own melodies and everything, but I just the structure.
gotcha.
I look for the structure of songs I really like, and I don't copy it, but I do something similar. It's like verse, chorus, bridge, and it has this sort of erratic beat and this kind of melodic bass line. So I really lean into my influences because I wouldn't be here without them. So
Yeah, of course.
yeah, if that answers your question.
Yeah, it actually does. Good, good, good. So, how do you prepare for a live performance?
I mean, I'm in my studio. You can't see anything. It's so dark in here, but
No, it's good.
I practice. I don't, I've learned not to practice too much. I practice leading up to it, once a day for 20 minutes, day of for 20 minutes, but that's it. I don't overdo it. I thought you can jinx it if you overdo it and you're just like
Gotcha.
too much practice, you might kill it. But I do practice, and I yeah, I've I actually have an iPad with lyrics on it because I'm old and can't remember anything. So I actually have an iPad to help me remember my lyrics, but and it goes with me to the shows. I've got it there with me. And I think, even at my age, I get nervous on stage.
Yeah, of
So,
course.
I try to get over it, but I think playing bass and singing, like having the bass helps me to stay focused and not be as nervous. I don't know how I
Gotcha.
would do if I was just a vocalist. Not to get off subject, but
No, no.
yeah, there's all kinds of things. Mostly it's practice and promotion and finding a cool outfit to wear, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's funny that you said about the iPad. I used to take little index cards. Okay, like when I was a Marine,
Yeah,
we had what's called the general orders, 10 general
yeah,
orders, and we would remember the first two, like to walk my post in a military manner, and so we remember the first two of each one of them to be
right.
able to remember the whole thing. So I
Yes,
would write on a cue card, like a little index card. That's the very first two
genius,
of each one,
genius.
of each
Yes,
song. Instead of writing a song, I know what song that is. I
yeah,
I'm practicing
yeah.
enough where I know my order.
Smart. That's
So
great.
there's something, but I'll just do the very first two, so I wouldn't have to, yeah, sort of
I
remind me
know
a little
that's
bit.
great. And that's such a good idea because that's all you really need. That's perfect.
Because
Yeah,
sometimes it gets so dark on stage, so
yeah.
it also worked against me at times. Like, oh my goodness, I can't read
What
that. Uh,
That's where the iPad comes in handy because it's bright. It's bright. But yeah, because I mean, it's a goth show. It's going to be dark. It's
oh
going to
yeah,
be
damn our old
red
age.
lights or a lot of times I've got video playing behind me, so I'm blinded. So I need something bright that I can actually see. You know, but yeah, I know I'm old. I can't remember
The
shit.
the things we
That
put
is a genius
ourselves
game.
through on the stage.
Yeah,
Oh, it's so
yeah.
funny. So what's your favorite tracks to sing live? What like gets the crowd going, dude?
Um, Liminal Spaces for sure, and then Plague of the Masquerade is one
Okay,
that
that's it. Let's go to the first one. What
yeah.
was that? What's that song about? Tell,
Liminal Spaces. It's
yeah, yeah.
it's about uh, everything is changing. The only thing that's constant is change, and you have to evolve and be okay with where you're at in this moment. You can't worry
Ah,
about yesterday, you know. But
gotcha.
it's also about werewolves, you know. So it's like I used monsters as a metaphor in that first album, and it's liminal space is about changing into a monster, you know.
Gotcha.
But it's really just about change and realizing you got to go with the flow.
Well, I mean, there is times we change into monsters. We can be
Yeah,
evil people, you know.
yeah,
Ugh.
yeah.
It's been
It's true.
yeah, yeah, it is. It's a true metaphor, actually. What you're getting at with that. That means a
Yeah,
lot. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that.
sure, sure.
So do you have any kind of pre-show rituals that you do?
Oh, I should. No, not really. Although that's probably a good
Just a
idea. I should
little
probably like
stretching, little
I do. You know
stretches,
what? I
or
do stretch like 3 times a day. So I mean, you could call that a pre show ritual because I definitely stretch before I
hey,
play.
you never know, man. Stretching is like one of the most important things of the day.
It is. Yeah, yeah.
What if you go
Especially
up there and you
at
have a
our age
cramp
or
right in
whatever.
the middle of the song? Like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah. Getting a
that's
cramp in your leg or something. You don't
or
want that.
something. Yeah,
Yeah,
horrible.
yeah.
Has anything happened while you're on the stage, like something horrible? Like one time a guitar string of mine broke the
Oh,
E
right.
string right at the
Yeah.
beginning of an intro that only has like 8 seconds, and then it kicks in like where I need that guitar. You
Right.
know, it
Yeah.
broke. I'm like, oh no, and I ripped
Yeah.
it off, and then I went
Yeah.
played the song. It was great. How about you? Do you have a story?
Well, broken guitar strings. I used to play guitar all the time, and yes, that happens, but I play bass now, so I don't have to worry about broken guitar strings. You'd have to really be cracking the thing to break a guitar string. But, I'd say the worst things that happen would be like my amp shits out on me and doesn't work. So I have to go through the PA or something like that. Or maybe the sound guy isn't so good, isn't actually a sound guy, and you have to really work with them to make sure your sound is right and you're not screeching back with feedback because
Oh, of course.
goth vocals have reverb. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but that's I mean that's the worst of it. Nothing terrible. That stuff that you get through. All the things that you think are going to go wrong that are going to be so horrible, they're just not. It's not that big of a deal. No one cares.
Yeah,
So
true.
I nothing I couldn't get through. I'll say that.
What's one of your driving forces behind your music? Like what's something that like what motivates you to play what you play?
I need music to live. I was art for the longest time. It was art and music, and they were separate. But now the art is for the music, and I have to create. I'll lose my mind if I don't. So the music
Gotcha.
keeps me sane. I mean,
Ah,
the driving force is that I need it in my life. The performances are important, but just really practicing is good too. And I
yeah,
need it as an outlet. I need, I writing lyrics is something that keeps my mind active. And so when I'm watching TV or reading a book or the news or anything, I can use that as influence for my music. And
gotcha.
so the music is the driving force.
Yeah.
Creativity is the thing, you know.
Has your wife helped you out with some of these songs?
Yeah. So Orphans of the Storm, that title track of that song is about her. And
Ah,
she's made her way into my music. Liminal Spaces, no, Deadly Darling. Uh, Most of the
okay.
whole first album has videos. And Deadly Darling, the music video, she has an appearance in that video. So, go check
Ah,
that video out on YouTube and you'll see my lovely wife. So yeah,
hello.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, so do you have any upcoming shows or events coming up?
Yeah, it's winding down for the year. I'm working on a March tour for next year, but yeah, I'm playing a show at Healer in Indy. It's Dead Souls Gothic Lounge on
Ah,
December 14th. And that's always a good show. I do that like once a year. And I will have a guitar player playing with me for the first time for that event. So he's coming over to practice with me today, and that'll be our
hmm,
first show together. So that'll be really cool. Yeah.
that's brilliant. Have you ever stepped out of your genre and wrote some other music like country
Um,
or anything different?
Well, not recently. Like, in my earlier life, I would, but not really country. I
My
just don't
earlier
I don't
life.
know how. It's not I have nothing against it. I like outlaw country, but
Okay.
I don't have the least bit of twang in me. I'm so static. I mean, post punk is perfect for me because I don't really have rhythm. I have like
Yeah,
robot rhythm because I'm a clunky
I
nerd.
gotcha. I
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah.
So you said you have music videos for the earlier stuff.
Yeah.
You don't have
Yeah.
any newer ones yet.
They're so time consuming to make. I've made
They are.
visualizers and lyric videos for everything, but not true music videos. I want
Okay.
to, and I will, but right now I'm putting my money into promotion and the videos. I think that's a project for next year. I might do that
So
again.
so you have an album in the works right now?
Yeah, so Telekinetic's coming out. That'll be out in spring, and then I'm also working
Yeah.
on new material. I've got three songs, kind of really just like sketches written, but it's going to be very it'll be synth pop, electronic, techno, new beat, and a little industrial is the
So
way
the
that it's going.
telekinetics is that you said that's
That's
the
the
name of
album
it?
that's coming out right
Okay.
now. Yeah,
And how many tracks is that going to have?
7 tracks, 7 tracks.
Seven
Yeah,
tracks. Wonderful. Okay.
yeah.
Do you do all the graphic designing as well and
I
stuff,
do,
or
I do, for better or worse. I probably need to find an artist for the actual album cover. I had a working album cover for it, and I've put out some singles. The single art is I'm doing all that myself, but I probably might find someone for the actual album cover when the time comes. So I'm still working on that.
okay?
But yeah, I have. Yeah, up till now I've done all of it myself.
Has the music industry been kind to you, like the internet and all that? That it
Yeah.
has it been good for your for
Yeah,
advertising,
yeah. This especially
selling your
since
merchandise and
Telekinetic is coming out. I mean, once I learned how to promote my music properly, that really helped a lot, and I've gotten
okay,
quite a response. I'm talking to a label in England, and I've had PR people reaching out to me, and um, mostly it's just like I see that the promotion I'm doing is working because I'm getting like I wouldn't be talking to you if I hadn't started doing a certain kind of promotion.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So
I got you.
I yeah, people are, you're kind to me, and other people have been very kind. I haven't had any negative, nothing negative happen or negative press. I had one review from one review that was questionable, and it was okay. It was constructive criticism. I went to art
Exactly.
school. I'm fine. I can deal with that. But aside from that, it's been good. It's been very good, very positive. So I'd say really good, really good.
So where do you find? Where do people find your merchandise?
Um, you can find my merchandise on Bandcamp, and there's also some on my website. So that's twicedark.bandzoogle.com.
Oh,
And
look at you.
yeah, so I'm trying to get like a merch store attached to my Spotify page. So that's something I'm working on as well.
Okay.
But right now it's Bandcamp and my website are the two places that you could go to purchase
Okay.
things. Yeah.
Okay. I noticed that your music's also on iTunes
Yep.
and
Yeah, it's
other
everywhere. Yeah.
outlets as well. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
But if
Okay.
you want to
Well,
buy like a shirt or something, you could buy that from Bandcamp or my website.
okay. Good,
Yeah.
good, 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 good,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So you got a guitarist, huh? So you want to
Yeah.
give him some credit? What's his name?
Kenny Dunn, and he's
Kenny.
from
Nice to meet you
Indianapolis.
again.
Yeah. So he is the co-founder of Indianapolis Entertainment, which is a company that helps artists of all kinds. in
Yeah.
the Indianapolis area. So, they help shows for musicians. They create shows for musicians, and you could be a comedian and they'd help you, or a visual
Wow.
artist. So, or a graphic designer. They're all about the arts, and they're a great company, and there should be more companies like them. So Kenny's doing some good for the world.
And what label are you on right now?
Uh, I'm not really on a label as such. There's a Russian label called uh, it eludes. It's on the it eludes me. But anyway, I'm not really signed to a label at the moment. It's mostly
Okay.
independent. Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Do it
yeah,
mostly yourself.
yeah.
Which is understandable. Yes. I mean, it's yeah. Why give out percentages to people when you can pretty much do it all yourself, anyways? So,
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm finding.
can we find you on Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff?
Yeah, Twice Dark. You look up Twice Dark, you're going to find me pretty much anywhere, any
Okay.
social media. The only thing I'm not on is X, and that's about it. Anywhere else you look for me, you'll probably find me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything you like to say to anybody, like thanks and shout outs?
Yeah. Thank you, Rooster, for interviewing me today. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
And
It's no big deal.
my wife, I wouldn't be alive without her. And
Yep.
Kenny's coming over today to practice with me. He's a great guy. I want to thank him. And Poster Recording is a great studio in Indianapolis, and they really helped me with my sound a lot. So those are some people I want to thank.
Oh, well, awesome. Looking forward to your Telekinetics album.
Yeah.
That's going to be coming out this coming year. We'll have to get you back and you can talk
Yeah,
about it if you want, do a little promo on it.
sure.
So, always
Yeah.
welcome back here. I appreciate you. And I hope you have an excellent day and excellent life and a beautiful
Thank you.
future. And I do appreciate it. Thank you very much for taking your time out to come and talk with us today.
Thank you. I
So,
appreciate it. This has been great.
yeah, it has been wonderful. And
All
thank
right.
you again, Josh. You take care of yourself, and we'll talk
All right.
very soon.
Okay. Take it easy.
You
All right.
too, man.
Born into this life